Here, I gotta make sure it's on. Trouble with the site sometimes is like it's hard to tell. Like it says it's on, but I need to be sure. Okay, so it says it's working. So YouTube is very flimsy sometimes. All right, here we go, folks. Oh, shit, damn, this one's so shit. Oh, I was watching. I just started part two, but the playthrough. So I just want to try to get this done. Maybe tonight or tomorrow. So kind of move to the rest of this, and I do plan on picking up some more games down the road. So. Virgil's leave. Rest in peace to the wrestler Virgil, by the way. Oh man, it's been a little while now, but still, it's just so surreal because he was a part of my youth growing up. It's so sad, just surreal. It's gone. And Sid's gone too, so it's just, oh man, it's surreal, it's sad. It's hard when you get old, man. It is. You know, so many of your childhood favorites leave, pass away. So, you don't always think about that when you're a kid. I think that sooner or later, you know, these guys are going to go. And each time it happens, it really, really just hurts. Hurts a lot. You always think about where you were during that time. You always think about, you know, what your life was like back then. It's hard. Yeah, you don't know these people personally. You're not, you know. You know, and it's just, you can't stop time, you can't stop age, and, you know, and nobody lives forever, unfortunately. Josh Fires. Man, some of these levels are confusing. Holy crap. Oh man, these levels are hard, like, I'm not gonna lie. Even longtime players of Doom will tell you. Like, whoa, shit. Baron. That takes care of that, folks. Here we go. Nino's judgment, or Mino's judgment. Get up. Right. Alright, try to get in the fight because it actually takes a lot of them out. It damages a lot of them too, so it makes it easier to kill. Also saves ammo too, so. There it is. good. Damn, I did not know about that damn strap. Oh, good. It's good. Oh, good. Go. Oh. I hate this one.
Saint 318.
Hey, MK. Yes, I'm back. So. Still confused as ever, as you can see.
It's going to a B-series.
Yes, it is.
Long series.
That's okay. I get what you were saying there. Yes, here we go.
Just downloaded some more Doom Maps mods.
Oh, nice.
Two of it is pretty funny.
Not a good start. Okay. Alright, I hate those fuckers. I really do. can't stand these revenants, man. They're just so annoying to deal with. Like, they're just a chore to deal with. Whoa, fuck me. Holy shit. Holy hell, I almost walked right into that. Holy crap. Hey MK, I got something really funny to tell you. You know what's hilarious about the second Resident Evil movie, Apocalypse? All the Canadian companies in the background. That's what's funny about it. Now, if you're wondering what some of those companies are, like, I recognize a few of them. So, Canadian Club is a brewery. You have CIBC Banking, which is a Canadian branch. Pizza's in the movie. Pizza's Pizza's a very famous pizza joint in Canada. Very good pizza. I was actually at a joint recently. If you go through my shorts collection, you'll see a pizza photo. That's me eating from Pizza. It's located in Canada. Because it was shot in Toronto, Ontario. I've been to Toronto a few times. I recognize the area pretty good. The wall she scales down, that she runs down, Mila Jovovich, is, I think it's the Science Center. Toronto's the largest city in Canada, so Vancouver's second behind it. A lot of movies are shot there too. That in Vancouver, especially.
Cool.
So now you know. The first Resident Evil movie is also shot in Toronto. I think the rest were shot elsewhere in America. Now, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, that was shot in Hamilton, Ontario. If you have any more questions, if you ever watch Resident Evil Apocalypse again, just ask me anything. I could be able to point it out to you what some of these companies are or where they're located. So I'm going to be moving back to that area probably in a year or two's time. I just got to, wait to see what's going to happen in my current situation right now. So I'll definitely visit Toronto when I can. So fuck me. Toronto is basically a lot like New York almost. It feels a lot like New York. It's basically Canada's version of New York. Now, the fair I was at, Peony Playland, that's in a lot of shows and a lot of films, too.
I was playing one of the mod a little bit. It's Doom 2 but with Doom 2016 mods on it low.
Oh, cool. Hey, my laptop's, is crap right now, so I'm just waiting to get a new one. And
You can play it on console cause I have it on my PS4.
oh, nice.
You just have to download it is all. I think you need a Bethesda account for it though.
Yeah, I do have a Bethesda account. So I'll look that up. Thanks for the heads up. I think I did look up the mods. I just never got around to playing them yet. Just want to do some of the current ones first. So, like this one.
You're welcome. I'm trying to fragment the game first because I start playing all the mods. I'm just doing a little bit of testing is all.
Okay, thanks for the heads up on that. Never underestimate the power of a double barrel up close, folks. Oh, that's a welcome insight. But you all agree?
Poor bastard.
Yeah. Sucks to be that guy. I don't know how that missed me, but it did. Love how conveniently narrow these hallways are.
The stars are night, make a wish low.
Yeah, make a wish. Hope this revenant dies soon. Oh, yeah, man, I feel bad for those guys. I really do. That something's gonna real. Just know. It's a little predictable. You kind of know when the traps are coming almost, especially the revenants. So, but you know, back to the Resident Evil movies. I really thought that the original movie, like it had the mansion right there. That's what upset me the most. Is like you had the mansion right there. Now, I do think that might be one of the museums or galleries in Toronto. So. But that really could have passed as Arclay Mansion. It really could have. Now, with Operation Raccoon City, it wasn't all Johannes Roberts' fault. The studio messed with the project and sabotaged it. So that they severed a lot of the funding, so... But yeah, I just think that, you know, the first movie, it almost had it, like, initially, because the mansion, again, in the first one, like, during the opening scene, it really did look a little bit like Arclay.
The mansion from the first movie? Yeah, I thought that's what they were going for, but not exactly.
Yeah, I mean... It's just upsetting to think about sometimes, knowing that.
going to be kept alive, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, that upset me the most because I thought her character had potential. I thought that, Michelle Rodriguez, and it's such a shame because Rodriguez was a real fan of the franchise. She was. And she was dedicated to it too, and this is what she gets out of it. It was just really upsetting because it's just I'm sure, looking back, Paul and anyone involved probably thinking, we were so close right there. We could have had it right there,
Also, I thought Matt was gonna live, but they ended up killing him off and made him the nemesis in the next film.
Well, yeah, when I heard that they said, look, bring him into the Nemesis program, I was like, oh no, pretty much knew. Or were they going to slowly, build him up? Well, I can understand why they introduced the Lickers in the first movie, because they do look and appear more threatening than that of the Hunters do in the original RE. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, we all know that, Paul and the studios were dead set on making his wife the ultimate badass, making his wife, the center of everything. Because the trouble with Paul is that he overachieved. That was the problem. I mean, because the RE films made money. And a lot of these hacks in Hollywood do that. They overachieve now.
Most likely the poster girl and made her a selfish character.
Well, exactly. I mean, another thing that upset me is how she was always kind of one-upping and getting the best of all the other characters. Like, Like, you really saw that in the second film. And it's such a shame because that actress really did, you know, look like Jill. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was close. That really was. Okay, I think I'm going to end it here after this. Well, I'm going to stop gaming. I'll talk for a little bit, but then I'll log off if you don't have plans. Okay. Well, we can talk for a little bit if you want. I'm probably just going to, if you have plans, just let me know. I'm just going to log off shortly because I'm going to start tomorrow, obviously, when I can. I'm scheduled, at the same time. I might do this. Maybe I'll do something else. I'm not sure. I kind of want to do both Dead Rising games before the remaster comes out. I'll try to finish up Tomb Raider, but geez, I forgot how long those were. I love that franchise, but those games are just long. Because they do get monotonous at times, so... Okay, was this the one you were talking about right here? Because you said something about mods, so... Oh yeah, this is the Beetlejuice drink I reviewed earlier. It's actually really good. Highly recommend it. I am going to go see the new Beetlejuice when it comes out, by the way. Okay. I'll check some of those mods out when I can, so...
The Mario Doom is pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll probably look into that. Maybe I'll try that just for a joke. No, that was from Final Doom, and this was from Final Doom as well. I never got around to playing it. I know somebody who had it, and they were
one with The Simpsons.
Disappointed. I've seen that one of The Simpsons before. That one's pretty funny. I've never actually played it, but I've seen it, so I'll check that out. This one I'm going to do. This one I'm going to do. And, of course, I'll save this one for last, so...
Awesome.
But right now I'm kind of, what am I doing? Well, I'm going to some events in my area too, so that way, so I gotta, make my money stretch a little bit. Even though I got 3 checks this month and I'm kind of in a very good situation, I just want to.
Legacy of Rust, I'm probably not looking forward to that.
Well, I've never really tried it yet, so. Oh yes, be wary when you're streaming on YouTube. Make sure that go to your Gmail and says live. If it says live, that means it's streaming. If it doesn't say live, it's not streaming. I don't know. I mean, I only use YouTube is because it's more accessible. The problem with Twitch is that I don't look good in a bikini, so I'm just not going to succeed on there. I just feel. It's great that Nemesis has done well for himself on there, but he had a built-in fan base before. I would. Problem is, I think a lot of us we're a lot smaller channel-wise. Guys, okay, I'm gonna look at my phone. There's a few games I got saved. Like release dates I got saved. I'll show you. On the 12th, I'm gonna do Lollipop Chainsaw. On the 19th of September, I will look. I hate to say it, but yes, I am gonna get the digital copy of Dead Rising Remaster because I kind of want to start that. So. October 8th, we got Silent Hill 2. I saw the recent trailer. It actually looks really good. So then on October 17th, the A Quiet Place game. Yes, that's right. A Quiet Place is getting a game. So then it looks really interesting. So I'll do that one. Now there's another independent horror game coming out October 29th called Post
Nemesis being on YouTube.
Trauma. Yeah, I miss him too. It's just. I hope Well, I don't know. I don't know the full story. I kind of lost track of him a little bit. I mean, you showed me that clip. That's how I kind of found him again. I was just kind of wondering what was going on because I didn't. I mean, I remember he mentioned that he was kind of having some problems in his personal life, but he didn't say what. I didn't want to ask him any questions while I was watching a stream. Obviously, it's just if you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. So. So if you want to grow on YouTube,
Maybe it's YouTube, but who knows?
Yeah, I know. It's just ever since that Susan's fat ass took over and left. It's just not fun anymore. Like it used. I mean, I miss the 2012 YouTube. I miss the YouTube of old. I really do. Before Google bought it and effed it all up. So I mean, they really took the fun and enjoyment out of it. And one thing that's we really gotta stand up to is this all the censorship. Like it's just God, man. I mean, we're North America. We're not, a communist country. Like enough's enough already. Like really, stop treating us like kids. We're grown men and women. Now, granted, I mean, parents. Do parents need to be more responsible for what their kids are watching? Absolutely, of course. It's the parents' responsibility too. You know. Well, if you don't mind, I'm just a long stretch of like
I didn't begin YouTube until 2019, but I think I have watched some videos before I started a channel.
Yeah. Well, I started making videos around maybe 2014, 2015. Looking back, when I started a channel, when I started an account, I should have started making videos a lot sooner, but I wasn't so tech savvy back then. especially when I was living in Vancouver, from like 2005 to 2016. I probably would have got a lot of subs. I probably would have got a lot of things that way due to all the tourist sites that are there, But as you know, I left Vancouver in early 2016. So I don't know where you're living, whether it's sports, wrestling, music, like a concert or something like that. Try to go there, record it, get some footage. That'll get a lot of views and subs. Because there's some shows coming up in my area that I'm going to go to. So I'm going to a few sporting events, like I'm going to our football game, which is, Canadian CFL. I'm going to a game on October 19th. That'll get a lot of views and subs. I am going to an NHL hockey game December 28th. Vancouver Canucks. That'll get a lot of views. So those get a lot of views and subs.
I'm just being careful if I'm recording something outside of the internet just because there's dangerous people out there might be.
Yes, there are. I had to deal with that. I had to distance myself from some people because I was getting involved in a lot of their feuds, and a lot of these people that were feuding with were outright dysfunctional and mentally ill. As I think I had told you both this a while ago, because there was a video I made about somebody who was an actual P. Well, I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want to get in trouble on here, but he was a P word. And unfortunately, him and his colleagues were stalking me and following me. The situation has since died down, and I kind of had to distance myself from those people because of that. I don't really do commentary or talk about anyone on here anymore because the problem is that if you criticize them in any way, they can use that against you and get you censored and get you kicked off here. And that's what a lot of them are doing. So that's why I stopped really criticizing anybody anymore because it was just too dangerous to do. So you don't want to lose your channel. I do have a spare backup channel with nothing on it, but just in case. But like I said, I don't do anything like that anymore. I don't really get anything too controversial anymore. Like, the best thing to do is just, and if you want to grow your audience, try not to talk about really controversial things. Like for instance, I don't really talk about politics in my channel because it's just too divisive. I don't really talk about religion or anything like that. There's certain issues that are just best left alone. I mean, I'm open. I don't really, I'm not as childish as some of these political pundits are on here. Like, I don't care what side you're on. I don't care hey, I don't, I'm pretty tolerant. I don't really care what you know, you can believe in whatever you want. You can support whatever you want. As long as you're not causing any real harm to anybody, as long as you're not breaking any laws, I don't really see it as an issue. And it's your business. Whatever you believe in is your business. Whatever you do is your business. It doesn't, it's has no bearing or effect on me whatsoever.
Just be yourself.
Exactly. Just be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Like live your life. And every once in a while, when it comes to social media, just go outside. Enjoy the simple things. I mean, like, this isn't my life either. I mean, I got other stuff going on too. I mean, I try to enjoy myself as best as I can. Away from it all. And yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It's been a difficult past few years for myself and a lot of other people. I mean, I thought I had it all, but unfortunately, something came up in my family life, and I had to come back where I was. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, just a heads up. I also got a couple of upcoming trips in these coming months ahead. Next year, I might do a day trip or two to Seattle, and and I'm planning on going to Vegas sometime in spring. I'm not going to be able to make WrestleMania, by the way, because tickets for WrestleMania are outrageous. I live in Canada, so our currency is crap. So I don't think I'm going to be able to make that. Um, well, I don't know the ticket prices for WrestleMania yet, but I imagine they're going to be very high. And then you got to consider the fact that, I mean, Vegas, like for instance, like in Las Vegas, the Raider games in that stadium are just ridiculous. And I've heard though that stadium's been problematic for the city because it's very hard to get there because it does hold, it causes a lot of traffic jams. And it's not very big. It's no bigger than the stadium I go to in Vancouver, the BC Place. So yeah, I'll be visiting America maybe a couple of times because Seattle. I just live right down like I'm a ferry ride away from Seattle, but there's a ferry called the Clipper that I'm going to go on. So I haven't been to Seattle in a while. I haven't been to America in like over 6 years. Not since 2020 happened. So. However, when I go to Vegas, I'm going to try the Adventure Dome. I'm going to try the
I
Stratosphere.
remember I once went to WrestleMania, but it was a long time ago, 2008, I believe.
You went to one too? Yeah, I went to WrestleMania 19 in Seattle at Safeco Field. Back, well, it's called T-Mobile Park now, but Safeco, when it was Safeco. If I stayed in the Ontario area, if things didn't go wrong, I would have gone to WrestleMania 40, but unfortunately, things went wrong, so I had to go to move back where I was. I had to come back here to BC because of that, so. And I sent you a message, and please, between you and me, I sent Nemesis the message. I told a few people I just don't want that getting out. I just don't really want it. It's really a private, personal thing.
It was back in Orlando.
Oh, I think I know which one that was. There were a few there that were bad that were in that stadium, and I think the Tropicana Field, I think it was. Because I've been to Orlando. I was in Orlando when I was like 17, so that was a long time ago. I was surprised, man. It's not that big. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger.
It was back when Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels Flair last match.
All right, so Fanta, Beetlejuice. I say get it when you can. It's pretty good. Yeah, I remember watching that live. That was sad. Even though Ric Flair still wrestled shortly after, but it was definitely sad to see that. You know, at that moment, because a lot of us felt like that was the end. Although I think Ric Flair should have stepped down then and there. I mean, kind of embarrassed himself. I mean, his last match was just terrible. I mean, that was just not good at all. I think he should have stepped down when he was still capable. Instead of going out the way, like that. But I think a lot of these wrestlers are addicted to the lifestyle. They're addicted to the the fame that they get. And that's why a lot of them are still involved. I mean, Undertaker wrestled all the way until his mid-50s, and I kind of thought he should have at least,
Flair should have stayed retired after that match. It would have been a great closer to his story.
Yeah, I think it would have been a great ending. It would have been the ideal way to go out, rather than just, kind of go out the way he did. I mean, it just wasn't, just because that was a pretty good match. That was, a solid match overall. Granted, Flair was in his late 50s, and Shawn, to his credit, could still perform well.
Yep.
While I'm still watching WWE in passing somewhat, I'm not watching it a lot. Uh, TNA has been pretty good, but AEW is just, oh man, I don't know what to say, man. Like, I just don't. There's a lot of issues I have with AEW, not just the product, but one thing I've noticed about AEW, a lot of the experts are saying is that it's a very dangerous company to work for. Like like a lot of people are claiming, look, somebody is going to get killed in that ring. I mean, with all the really dangerous and reckless stuff that they're doing. Because I don't think the matches are well planned and well thought out. Like I don't think they're really. There's a lot of preparation or practice that goes into them.
I haven't seen TNA in a long time. I'm glad it's around still, even it doesn't feel the same to me.
Yeah, it has changed considerably. Um, I do like the fact that they're letting the younger talent shine this time, and they're not letting a lot of these older guys, hog the spotlight and everything anymore. I mean, their last pay-per-view, Slammiversary, was one of the best shows I've seen this year as far as wrestling goes. Next to WrestleMania, that was easily just a 5-star show. But I think the positive about Triple H now is he's got full creative control. He doesn't have Vince, micromanaging everything anymore. And to be honest, Vince going was a great thing. It's been great, and it's horrible what he's done. But then again, Vince has a history of scandalous behavior. This is not the first time he's done anything like that. You know, But you notice, like, everyone's able to do what they want now. They're able to be themselves now. Like, there's more freedom. Plus, all these other hacks are gone too. I mean, the old guard is gone, which is finally good.
WWE seem to be getting better now ever since Triple H took over.
Well, you have to consider the fact that Triple H and his friends, like it was Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Sean Waltman, who was X-Pac, and Scott Hall. Sadly, that's another one that I really miss, man. We're behind a lot of the creative control in the WWE and WCW, and a lot of the success was really because of those five. So Triple H was knowledgeable. I just think he needed to be in the right position. And a lot of people said Triple H's knowledge, Triple H's decision making, regarding pay-per-view outcomes. Some of them I didn't always agree with, but it worked. Like fiscally, it was a good move, a lot of the time. So it made sense that he did have, an understanding of the product.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the guys, and yeah, I didn't always support the Click. I didn't always agree with a lot of what the Click did behind the scenes. But unfortunately, you can't argue with results. It's just, like, I didn't like a lot of the political stuff they pulled, but, backstage either. I mean, they also screwed over a lot of people and they hurt a lot of careers too. Okay. All right. Well, I'm getting a little tired here.
Definitely hated back in the day.
Yes, they were. A lot of people who've spoken up against them, and I'm like, they did a lot of really underhanded things, and they were telling Vince what to do. Vince, Vince lost control.
People like them and others don't.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like, for instance, like a Scott Hall. I mean, he really had the charisma and personality. He really did. Like, he had that down perfectly. I think he was just like he's one of those guys you could probably hang out with. He was just naturally, perfect on the mic. He was one of the better in-ring performers. And Kevin Nash too. I mean, Kevin Nash was very slick, and he had the personality. Both had the charisma. Both were just gifted in that regard. That's why they were successful. I mean, X-Pac, 1-2-3 Kid could really draw heat. Like, he could really get under the fans' skin. And same with Triple H. Like, I can't remember which WrestleMania was. I think it was one of the early one. He was. I can't remember, it was him and Rock, and I think that he won. Nobody expected. I went to see it in a movie theater, right? And when he won, like, people in the movie theater flipped out. Like, it got so bad that like the projector had to come down. Like, the secure, like, the staff had to settle the crowd down from that. That's how Triple H was able to get to you. And even Shawn Michaels, what can be said? Yes, I can't argue. Shawn was one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time. There's no denying that. He could play both sides very well. I mean, he could be a face very well, and he could also be a very good bad guy, a very good heel too. Like, that's why a lot of those five were successful as well. And they all fed off each other, and they all worked together perfectly. And I didn't like it. I don't agree with it either, but
That's true.
So, like when Hall Nash formed the NWO, that was nothing like that had ever been done before. With Hogan, and yet again, Hogan turning bad. It was long overdue. It had to happen because people were tired of Hogan. Like I remember, like that year, I didn't have access to WCW a lot. One of my friends did, and I did remember that, like for a year or so, months leading up to that, Hogan was getting booed in various stadiums, and like people were thumbing down and booing Hogan. So, because a lot of the fans were getting tired of him. So in a lot of ways, it had to happen. So it was perfect timing. I mean, everything lined up perfectly in that period. Then shortly after that, I mean, Triple H and Shawn Michaels formed DX. They were controversial. They were gross. They were a little, very extreme, but controversy creates cash, and it got people watching. People were going to watch because they didn't know what they were going to do. You didn't know what they were going to say, And that really paved the way for the Attitude Era, especially with Austin. So then, of course, their feuds with Austin, that helped a lot. So in 1998, that really was Austin's year. There was the screw job. The Mr. McMahon character was born, and everything turned around for WWE
Which
back
Hogan
then.
version you like best, the red and yellow Hogan or the black and white and woe Hogan?
Well, I gotta be real with you. When I was like a kid, preteen, we all loved Hulk Hogan. I loved Hulk Hogan, but I just. But even myself at times, I just felt like it was just becoming like, when watching WCW, it's just like, it was kind of becoming over. Now, I didn't always watch WCW because I didn't have a lot of access to it at that time, because they were on TBS and you had to order it. You had to pay more just to get it. So usually I watched it at my old friend's house who he had access to it. So, but I gotta admit, I was shocked when it happened, like when Hogan turned. But over time, I grew to love it. I loved when Hogan was bad. I just loved the look, and he just played that perfectly too. It was surreal at first because you're so used to having him come down and save the day, but oh no, nobody does. He's not coming down. He is the bad guy. That was the surreal part about it as a kid. But it's hard to say. It's a toss up between the good guy and the bad guy. But I guess for childhood's sake, just for great memory's sake, it's maybe when he was a good guy.
Hulk Hogan was a good villain when he was Mo, and he was cool too.
Yeah, I mean, Hogan had the personality. He was great on the mic. He could work the crowd. That's the thing. Well, I think everyone's biggest fear was Eric Bischoff, and everyone's fear was that when Hogan turned bad, that they thought it could backfire. Because you got to remember, before Hogan turned bad, like wrestling was really in a downturn, a major downturn. Like, a lot of people weren't watching at that time. But when that happened, when Hall showed up, people turned in. When Nash showed up shortly after, their ratings went up. And then when that happened, when Hogan turned bad, everybody was tuning in. everybody, like a majority of people, were talking about wrestling again. You know, when that happened. You know, so
I remember as a little kid I saw someone was acting like Hogan took a real chair and played it as a guitar like what Hogan did in WCW lol.
yeah, a lot of us as kids would kind of, pretend that, we would pretend to be some of those guys when we were kids, with our friends. So it was pretty funny. We were recording those guys a lot back in the day because all three of them were just, naturally cool. Like you just, these are people that you really wanted to be around. It's so funny. Even though they were the bad guys, you couldn't help but admire them because they had that, cool factor to all of them. All three of them did.
It shows how much people like him.
Yeah. And I don't think we'll get an era like that again because just the internet, social media is so toxic. There's just, the political correctness. I just don't think that like something like that could work today, sadly. So, I mean, I do really wonder what a John Cena heel turn would have been like had they pulled the trigger on that. I mean, that would have been incredible. But Vince, being old, out of touch, fossil that he was, never went through with it. I mean, like, I really wonder what it wouldn't have been as big as Hogan, but I do think that that would have got a lot of viewership. It would have got a lot of people watching. You know, they did hint around it, but they never pulled the trigger on it. That's the upsetting part about it. You know.
Eat that's what people probably would actually want. That's why Senna get boo a lot. They got tired of him staying as babyface.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what happened with Hogan too. It's just people were kind of tired of him after a while. They were tired of him. It was just got to be repetitive and boring. I mean, after a while, and I wasn't really watching a lot during that time period. And it just now I get it. John Cena's doing movies now. He's married, and I didn't hate him on a personal level. I just got tired of him too, and I just thought that, man, if they just pulled the trigger on that, if they just went through with that, it would have made for better television, would have made for better wrestling. I think it would have got a lot more people watching again, but it just, they never did. And John, because he's got to be in his late 40s, retiring in WrestleMania, the next WrestleMania coming up, which makes sense because he's in his like late 40s now. So I mean, he's probably got a lot of money. So he's got other things going on. So I think he's well off. All right, I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 more minutes here. Then
Fantasy will
I'm
be boring too.
exactly. All right, I'm going to give you a few more minutes, and then I'm going to sign off. But yeah, I agree. It would have been more exciting. Television, they did go through it.
It would be something new to watch. Okay.
Yeah, it would have been something new to watch. Okay, I probably would have tuned in if it happened, and it would have got people talking again. I do think that Vince was just comfortable to an extent, like he was just comfortable just being on the medium because he put everyone else out. There was nobody to compete with. All right. I think I'm gonna sign out now. So, if you have any last words? Let me know. I'll let you get the last word right now.
Have a good night, Saint.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'll tune in when I can. Just let me know.
Great
Maybe
stream,
even.
man.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'll probably stream tomorrow or whenever I can. So Friday, I got a class coming up. I'm gonna start working out. So, but thanks for
Thumbs
watching
up.
and have a good night. Take care. Uh, Stay safe out there. Peace.